Welcome to the Michigan War Dog Memorial. I want to thank you very much for coming. To get started with the program, which I'm very excited about, we have several speakers that are going to talk to us today. I'd like to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'd like to do our invocation. I'd like to ask Colonel Albright, would you please step forward?
Father, we come before you today to honor your creation, designed by your hand. By your unique design, you created both types of warrior defenders, man and dog. So today, we come before you with gratitude for those who have given their lives in service for us all. Gratitude to the handlers of the K-9 and the K-9 themselves. Our law enforcement K-9 teams stand on the wall for us within this great country. And our military K-9 teams stand on the wall all around the world. And for that, we thank you, Father. We thank you for their great sacrifice. It is by your design that you have given to us man's best friend, defined as the one absolutely unselfish friend that a man can have in this selfish world. The one that never deserts him and the one that never proves ungrateful or treacherous is his dog. The poem found on the Michigan War Dog website sums up our heartfelt thanks. Because of you, both of you, I am here. Yes, because of both of you, I am able to live freely. Yet, I do not know either one of you, and I have done nothing, and I have not done anything for either of you. But, there both of you are, ready to stand and fight, prepared to die for me. Both of you have fought before, and both of you will fight again for someone neither one of you know. So thank you, unknown soldiers, whether you have 2 legs or 4, for fighting for me. I'm free because of both of you, and I owe both of you my future. Greater hath no one than this, greater love hath no one than this, but that he laid down his life for one's friends. Amen.
Thank you, Colonel. That was very, very nice. Very, very appreciated. I'd like to start off talking about the Michigan War Dog Memorial. Just basically, where did it start? How did it get started? Just to give you a little background, the site that we're standing on right now was established in 1936. It was established by the Elko family here in the area. The son was a veterinarian, and when clients lost their pet, they wanted to know where they could go to bury it. He asked his father for a small portion of land to set up a cemetery, which at that time was called the Happy Hunting Ground. That was 1936. In 1946, after World War II, the people in the area had heard all the lives that war dogs had saved. They came together, put their money together, and did a fundraiser and raised $3,700, and they erected this monument that you see right here. At that point, it started. Also, you're going to hear today, we're going to do a dedication of the headstone. But we have a war dog buried right here at the base of this monument. And I'll be discussing that. Sergeant Spark, we'll talk about him later on in the program. In 1985, up to that point, things have been taken care of. That generation started getting a little older, couldn't handle it. The younger generation wasn't that interested. And at the middle of 1980s, nature started its course and taken over this whole spot. In 2010, we discovered this abandoned War Dog Memorial Pet Cemetery. I went back to the AMVETS, post 2006 in Milford, and I asked to form a detail. Let's go try to clean that up. So we put a notice in the paper, contacted several BSOs in the area, dog club members. On August 14th, 2010, on a Saturday morning, about 45 people showed up. It was totally illegal. And we started working on it. From that point on, this took a life of its own. People seeing what we were doing. We had residents that drive by, stop, come back up and say, I've been here 15 years, I didn't know this even existed. Half hour later, you'd see them out here working with their gloves and rings. So it's been a kind of a feel-good mission. And I want to give special thanks to a lot of the VSOs, that's Veteran Service Organizations. I'm not going to try to list them all. But you guys have come forward and you've been a great help. And another special thanks I want to give to the ASM, the Agriculture Society of Michigan. They seen what we was doing. They come up and they said, we're going to give you a day of service. And when they told me that, I wasn't sure really what they meant. But Saturday morning, they showed up, 3 companies, all their trucks, and they did more in that one day than it would have taken us 2 years with our hand tools. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I talk to them again this year, and hopefully we'll get some more help. But our ultimate goal is to turn this into a park city. And we've got a lot of work to do with it. The next thing, person I want to give thanks to is Lombardo Homes. Lombardo Homes purchased this 80-acre section in which this site sits on. When Lombardo Homes seen what we were trying to do, Anthony Lombardo came to us and said, why don't you pace off what you want? I'll survey it, I'll record it, and I'll deed it to you. So big special thanks to Lombardo Homes for what they did. So that's where we're at right now. Now, what we're going to end up doing is we cleared it so far with everybody. Right behind the monument, we have an area we're going to designate for retired MWDs, that's military working dogs. And we're going to start interment again. Our first burial is going to be April 13th for MWD Buddy. Our next burial is going to be the May time frame for MWD Me. We're waiting for the young soldiers to home from Afghanistan to have that ceremony. So that's what our future is going to be. Now I'd like to talk about MWDs themselves. We'll go back a little bit in history. In World War I, the military dogs at that time were called ambulance dogs. The ambulance dogs was trained to go out in no man's land, find a wounded soldier, bring back a piece of his article of clothing or anything he could bring back to the stretcher bearers, and then lead the stretcher bearers back to that wounded soldier for him to be rescued. In World War II, the dogs were called war dogs at this point. The first dog platoon was deployed to Guam in 1943, spring of 1943. 2 weeks after the dog platoon was deployed, the casualty rating dropped by 70%. And after that, for every patrol that was led by a war dog, not one was ambushed. And that was in Guam, and that was in the Pacific. In Korea, there was only one dog platoon deployed, period, for that conflict. Of those 28 dogs, they've estimated they saved 4,000 lives. In Vietnam, they were still called war dogs. The estimated lives that they saved during that conflict was 10,000. They served in Bosnia. They were still called war dogs. Then they went to Iraq. At this point, their name changed to MWDs, military working dogs. That's because the disciplines they were trained in now had increased. And their main focus would have been on IEDs and mine detection. And today, they are still serving in Afghanistan. At the present time, there are 600 teams in Afghanistan, and they're doing quite a good job. They are finding all these mines, they're finding all these explosives. They're bringing these people home. So that's a little story of the MWDs, what they've done for us, how they've protected us. And when we talk about, and I just talked about the military dogs, but also when we look at K-9 veterans, we also have to take into account dogs that serve us. You've got the therapy dogs. The therapy dogs are trained for one thing, to make you feel good. And that's proven. They go to hospitals, they go to senior homes, they go to schools. They just make you feel good. And that's what they're supposed to be doing. We also have a kind of a new dog that's come on board, and that's a PTSD companion dog, which we have one here today. Where's Ralph? Where's Ralph? Raise your hand. Ralph, there. Ralph has Recon. Recon has been with him now for about 6 months or 7 months, and he is doing absolutely fantastic. He's helped Ralph out tremendously. A great dog, a beautiful looking white shepherd too. Then you got the service dog. The service dog that's going to help the blind, going to help the handicapped. Give the handicapped people a little more independence. These are things we have to look at with these dogs. Then you get into protection dogs. You've got your K-9 police dogs, the FBI dogs. You've got the Border Patrol dogs, airport security dogs, and the list goes on and on. Because ever since 9/11, the use of canines has tripled. And they're there to protect us, and they're there to take care of us. So today is the day that we recognize them, show our respect. I would like to now read off a reading. I left my clipboard, hold on.